What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And guess what, folks? The Biden administration is scrambling right now. Scrambling to do what, you might ask? Check this out. What the Biden administration plans to accomplish before Trump takes over the White House. That is right. So all the Joe Biden's legacy. He wants to make sure he gets everything done that he set out to do to make sure they burn this country to the ground as much as they can before he leaves office, because he knows Donald Trump is going to come back in and build everything back up anew. Check this out, y'all. Biden administration officials are working against the clock, doling out billions in grants and taking other steps to try to preserve at least some of the outgoing president's legacy before President-elect Donald Trump takes office in January. Let's make every day count, President Joe Biden said in an address to the nation last week after Vice President Kamala Harris conceded defeat to Trump in the presidential race. Trump has pledged to rescind unspent funds in Biden's landmark climate and healthcare law and stop clean energy development projects. Yes, these are good things. Government spending, we don't like this, folks. $1.8 trillion deficit spending is absurd, and I don't know why anybody in their right mind would sign off on this, much less create a budget that comes in at that much of a deficit. Like, we don't take in that much revenue. How the hell can you, like, it's just, oh, it's so frustrating. There's only one administration at a time, Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg told reporters at a news conference Thursday. That's true now, and it will also be true after January 20th. Our responsibility is to make good use of the funds that Congress has authorized for us and that we're responsible for assigning and dispersing throughout the last 3 years. Sorry, y'all. Trying to go too fast, I guess. But Trump will control more than the purse strings come January. His administration can also propose new regulations to undo some of what the Biden administration did through rulemaking process. Yes, that's a good thing. Yes, very good thing. I hope he does so. Here are some of the moves the Biden administration is now taking. Getting infrastructure spending out the door. Yeah, we got to spend as much money as we can, y'all. Biden administration officials hope that projects funded under the $1 trillion infrastructure law and $375 billion climate law will endure beyond Biden's term and are working to ensure that money from the landmark measures continues to flow. Once again, just burning this country to the freaking ground as quickly as possible. This is insane, y'all. On Friday, Buttigieg announced over $3.4 billion in grants for projects designed to improve passenger rail service, help U.S. ports reduce highway deaths, and support domestic manufacturing of sustainable transportation materials. What the hell is sustainable transportation materials? I would love to know that. We are investing in better transportation systems that touch every corner of the country and in the workers who will manufacture materials and build projects, he said. Communities are going to see safer commutes, cleaner air, and stronger supply chains that we all count on. Speeding up environmental goals. Here we go, folks. This is some insanity. Announcements of major environmental grants and project approvals have sped up in recent months in what White House officials describe as sprinting to the finish line of Biden's 4-year term. Once again, like I said, I always say this, Biden is walking through the White House and he's got this jacket that's filled with nothing but grenades. And he's just taking these grenades, pulling the pin, and tossing it behind him as he leaves office. It's just burning this country to the freaking ground as quickly and as fast as possible and as efficiently as possible at that. The Environmental Protection Agency recently set a nationwide deadline for removal of lead pipes and announced nearly $3 billion to help local water systems comply. The agency also announced that oil and gas companies for the first time will have to pay a federal fee if they emit dangerous methane above certain levels. Huh? Like, some of that is good. The lead pipes, I agree with all that. Who wants lead pipes? Nobody. The Energy Department, meanwhile, announced a $455 million loan to a Michigan company to expand manufacturing of high-quality silicon carbide wafers for electric vehicles. Why is the government subsidizing this? Why can't we just allow the private sector to do its own thing? Why are we putting so many subsidies into electric cars, folks? Like, are we forgetting that there was an electric car revolution and that the price of electric cars is steadily coming down? And not because of government subsidies, but because of Elon Musk, who these people freaking hate with a passion. Right? The government mandated that all government vehicles purchased must be electric. Right? But they refused to buy Tesla. The best electric car company out there. They refuse to buy Teslas. That's absurd, y'all. It just goes to show you the political weaponization of our federal government. That's just a tiny part of it. The loan is one of 28 deals totaling $37 billion granted under a clean energy loan program that was revived and expanded under Biden. There is a new urgency to get it all done. We're seeing explosions of money going out the door, said Melinda Pierce. What? And they're telling us this, that like this is a good thing. Money just going right out the freaking door. I'm sorry, y'all. I just got interrupted by somebody. Come here, you little sucker. This is my little buddy Saint, if you haven't met him yet. He's a goofball. See? Say hi to the camera, Saint. You want to talk politics, little buddy? You're a good boy. Who is the legislative director of the Sierra Club? Biden and his allies really want to finish the job they started. Ukraine aid. Oh, here we go, folks. Some Ukraine aid. Pentagon Press Secretary Sabrina Singh told reporters this week that Biden wants to spin down the authority that Congress has allocated and authorized before he leaves office. So we're going to work very hard to make sure that happens. So once again, folks, pulling the grenades, throwing it behind him. The Biden administration would have to rush $7.1 billion in weapons, $4.3 billion from the 2024 supplemental, and $2.8 billion that is still on the books in savings due to the Pentagon recalculating the value of systems sent from the Pentagon stockpiles in order to spend all of those funds obligated before Trump is sworn in. Wonder why that is. Wonder why they're wanting to do this. Like, what's the urgency there? Are you afraid that Donald Trump's going to come in and just destroy democracy? Is this what you guys are talking about when y'all say he's a threat to democracy? I think it is, y'all. I think that's what it is. There's also another $2.2 billion available to put weapon systems on long-term contracts. However, recent aid packages have been much smaller in size, around $200 million to $300 million each. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin has said the funds already obligated, which should make them harder to take back because the incoming administration would have to reverse that. And do you think they're going to not try to reverse that? Do you think that the Trump administration is going to continue to send weapons to Ukraine once that war comes to an end? Because he's pledged, and I think he can do it, that he's going to stop that war, to stop the dying, as he said. But these people are like, no, he's a threat to democracy. So is that what you guys consider democracy? Is this what you consider democracy? Starting proxy wars across the world. I guess that's what they'd think that is. I don't know. I don't know, because they keep saying he's a threat to democracy, and yeah, I'm not seeing it, y'all. Pressure to quickly confirm judicial picks. Oh, here we go. We got to get some more activists on the circuit, y'all. Another priority for the White House is getting Senate confirmations of as many federal judges as possible before Trump's inauguration on January 20th. The Senate this week voted 51 to 44 to confirm former prosecutor April Perry as a U.S. District Court judge in northern Illinois. More than a dozen pending judicial nominees have advanced out of the Senate Judicial Committee. 8 judicial nominees are awaiting committee votes, and 6 are awaiting for committee hearings. Trump has urged Republicans to oppose efforts to confirm judicial nominees. No judges should be approved during this period of time because the Democrats are looking to ram through their judges as the Republicans fight over leadership. He wrote on social media site X on November 10th before congressional Republicans chose their new leaders. Yeah, in secret, by the way. And a lot of people were mad about John Thune, good old establishment John Thune. However, he has kind of hinted at trying to confirm Matt Gaetz, which that is one of the most important confirmations that we need, y'all. We need Matt Gaetz as the AG, because he's going to actually investigate criminals in the government, which is what the DOJ should be for, right? You know, we can let local and state authorities go after actual criminals, but when it comes to the federal government and the bureaucracy that we have in Washington, D.C., and all those criminals and lobbyists and all that stuff, yeah, we need somebody to go after these people. And that's why these people are so scared. They're getting on mainstream news and saying stuff like this.
Many things I disagree with Marco Rubio on, and I haven't decided yet about voting for him, but he is qualified. He has experience. We may have differences that would cause me to say I don't think that he should be Secretary of State, and we'll go through that. We'll listen to the hearings. I want to hear very carefully from him. But what we're talking about with people like Matt Gaetz is very different from what we're talking about with people like Marco Rubio, and we just have to keep that in mind. But do understand with Matt Gaetz, and you've already made this point, he's not the only one out there who is unqualified and who raises whole questions like Tulsi Gabbard does. You really want her to have all of the secrets of the United States and our defense intelligence agencies when she has so clearly been in Putin's pocket? That just has to be a hard no.
Student loan forgiveness, y'all. The Education Department has been hurrying to finalize a new federal rule that would cancel student loans for people who face financial hardships. The proposal, one of Biden's only student loan plans that hasn't been halted by federal courts, is in a public comment period scheduled to end December 2nd. After that, the department would have a narrow window to finalize the rule and begin carrying it out, a process that usually takes months. Like Biden's other efforts, it would almost certainly face a legal challenge. Yes, halt this thing, because we should not force American citizens to pay for other American citizens' student loans. For crying out loud. Why doesn't the Biden administration understand this? I didn't go to college because I didn't want to go into debt for this. I don't want my tax dollars to go to pay off somebody else's gender studies diploma, for crying out loud. It's ridiculous. Additionally, the Biden administration has room to spend up student loan cancellations for people who were already promised relief because they were cheated by their colleges, said Aaron Ament, an Education Department official for the Obama administration and president of the National Student Legal Defense Network. Education Secretary Miguel Cardona could decide that case and others rather than hand them off to the Trump administration, who is expected to be far friendlier for for-profit colleges. No, he's against federal money going to these people. He doesn't want us to pay for other people's student loans, for crying out loud. He would just shut everything off. It's not going to go to for-profit colleges or whatever the hell. Like, that's just ridiculous. Like, do you think he's going to differentiate between those? No. He's just going to cut it all off. Doesn't matter if it's a for-profit college or not. It's a no-brainer, Ament said. There's a good number of cases that have been sitting on Cardona's desk. It's hard to imagine that those would just be left untouched. Trump has not yet said what he would do on student loan forgiveness. However, he and Republicans have criticized Biden's efforts. Yes, because it's ridiculous. It's all a part of their socialism they're trying to implement in this country. And we don't like socialism, folks. I don't want government handing me anything. I don't like when government officials show up to my house at all, ever. I don't know anybody who does. The government only ever makes things worse. I mean, just look what they're doing with the car charging stations that, they spent, what, $9 billion and have only built 7 stations, for goodness sakes. When Elon Musk was talking about this, you split that up. You do the numbers on that, $9 billion to build 7 stations. That's over $1 billion per charging station. When Elon Musk said they can slap together one of those charging stations for a couple $100,000, like less than $200,000. Yeah, that's absurd, y'all. Why is the government subsidizing this anyway? The car companies should be building these if they want people to be able to charge their vehicles. Why are we relying on the government to build these things? Why are we relying on the government to pay off your student loan debt? That's ridiculous. It's all absurd. And once again, it's just all a part of the Biden administration destroying this country, burning everything to the freaking ground as quickly and as efficiently as they possibly can. And I find it all absurd, and I cannot wait for it to be over with. This is getting ridiculous. You want to call Trump a threat to democracy? Well, if you define democracy as student loan forgiveness garbage, the establishment, and then all your stupid Democrat agenda, he is. He's a major threat to democracy. He's going to blow it up. As a matter of fact, he's just going to obliterate your democracy, because that's all it is. It's their democracy. It's not the republic, as a matter of fact. Notice they don't ever say that he's a threat to the republic. They never say that. Never, ever, ever say that. It's always a threat to democracy. So never a threat to the republic that we are. You got to pay attention to these people, folks. But I think that's all I got for this one. I want y'all to let me know what y'all think about all this down in the comments section. Y'all don't forget to smash that like button for me if you don't mind. I would greatly appreciate it. And y'all try to have a good day. Stay legitical. Peace.